Welcome to the Scottish Exhibition Centre in Glasgow. On tonight's Big Fight Live, the rematch between Britain's world champion Nigel Benn and the Italian Mauro Galvano. Hello, good evening to you all. Nigel Benn is the WBC super middleweight champion and he is really fired up for this defence. Over the years I've seen Benn fight in a variety of arenas: Windsor, Wisbech, Atlantic City, and wherever he has fought, Benn has been Mr. Entertainment, always providing great value for money. An explosive hitter. For me, he is the most exciting of Britain's current world champions. And tonight, Nigel Benn has a score to settle with the tall Italian, Mauro Galvano. Benn says he's going to punish Galvano. His brooding fury threatened to boil over as the fighters pose for the obligatory eyeballing at the pre-fight press conference. Benn's anger stems from the first meeting back in October. Galvano was the champion, defending on his own patch just outside Rome. Benn launched a fierce opening salvo. He hammered and cut Galvano by the end of the third. Galvano's management, who no longer look after him, disgracefully tried to cling on to the title, claiming the cut had been caused by a foul. The fight should be declared a technical draw. Benn celebrated prematurely. All along, though, the referee confirmed there'd been no foul. Some of Galvano's supporters realised their man could retain his title on that technicality. Agonising moments for Benn. His promoter Barry Hearn, though, was calmness personified in the crisis. Ultimately, sanity prevailed. Benn got the belt. The first British fighter to win a world title in Italy since Maurice Hope back in '79. Leaving the ring, though, he was pelted with rubbish and abused. Benn, the Roman conqueror, certainly isn't in the mood to forgive and forget.
I'm looking forward to this fight so much because when I fought Mauro Galvano in Italy, the way they treated me was unbelievable. Spitting at me, throwing coins at me. And tonight I really want to give it to him. I really want to give it to him. I got 12 rounds to punish him, and that's my intentions. 12 rounds, I just want to hurt him.
Galvano's been a very different character here in Glasgow to the posturing, arrogant fighter we saw in Rome. Relaxed and polite, he understands Benn's attitude.
I love the tough way of Nigel Benn, because he needs to work in this way, and it's better for him. I am different, but we are two champions, no problem. A different way, no problem for me. I understand his position.
The message on Galvano's training top says he's going to knock Benn out. That would be a shock, because he certainly hasn't got Benn's power. But the Italian's sharp and up for the fight. He's certainly got no worries about being away from home.
You can think that is a fun idea, but I feel better now, because now I am happy of my corner. I trained myself very well, and I am better than in Italy. I prefer to stay here. I feel better here.
This will be Benn's second defence. Cardiff's Nicky Piper gave him the longest fight of his career. It was the 11th round before Benn stopped the brave Welshman. In 37 fights, the Dark Destroyer has never gone 12 rounds. Stamina used to be a problem for Benn, but trainer Jimmy Tibbs has touched parts others couldn't reach. He's been relishing 15-mile runs in Tenerife, flooding punishment for the challenger with every step.
They're all involved. They're all of them. Every single one was involved out there. You know, if he could have kept his title, he would have done anything. Like Barry Hearn said, you know, they had more strokes than Oxford, but, you know, they never got through with it. But I'm looking to give him some payback time.
Totally focused and very intense, and the prospect of a real old punch-up here has attracted a good crowd to the Scottish Exhibition Centre, and it includes the winner of our competition last week. Andrew Firth from Bradford in Yorkshire is here with his girlfriend Anita, and he correctly identified the Louisville lip as Muhammad Ali. Well, Ben has had plenty to say about this fight. I suppose you could say he's been shooting from the lip, but Nigel Benn definitely is ready to rumble. We'll be back with the action very shortly.
From round 1 to round 12, it's going to be X-rated violence. So don't turn over your telly. I want to punish him for 12 rounds. That's what I want to do. That's my intentions for the way they treated me in Italy.
You're back with us live at the Exhibition Centre in Glasgow, and we await the appearance of the Italian challenger, the former champion, Mauro Galvano. 28-year-old Galvano. He's grown a beard since the last fight. He said he had a look at Nicky Piper and thought he looked too gentlemanly against Nigel Benn. So he's got a little bit on the cheeks for this one. I must say it's the first time I've seen him here in Glasgow without the dark glasses and the cap. Tall fighter though, 6'1", bit of a messy sort of fighter, a light hitter. Tends to hold a bit, pick up points with his jab. But he's come down from light heavyweight to this weight and came in comfortably inside the 12-stone limit when they weighed in here last night. For him, he says this is the first fight. He never had a chance to fight in Italy. And he will be wondering what's going on here as we hear the chimes for Big Ben. Any moment now we'll catch sight of Nigel Benn, a lethal middleweight, not quite so destructive at super middle. Meantime, Galvano, quite unfazed really, waits for Nigel Benn. He used to be a waiter, he did honestly. Suitably attired for the Scottish fans that he says he loves to fight in front of because of the passion they feel about their sport. Comes a champion. No signs of burnout with this fella. He's ready for a final big push in what's been a great career, and I think now he's as complete as a fighter as he ever will be. And that is a very good fighter indeed. Wearing a kilt, of course, a tartan kilt and jacket. And that will go down well in these parts. His second fight in Glasgow. And carrying the WBC belt, here comes the champion, Nigel Benn. Tremendous surge of excitement as he gets into the ring. Very much at home here is Jim Watt, of course. He, as always, will be your big fight commentator alongside Reg Guttridge. And the MC with the official announcement is Mike Goodall.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the promoters this evening, Barry Hearn for Matchroom Boxing and Tommy Gilmore Jr. for St Andrews Sporting Club, welcome to the Big Fight live on ITV from the Scottish Exhibition Centre in Glasgow. Sponsored by the Daily Mirror and the Daily Record newspapers, this is the main event of the evening. The officials appointed by the WBC for this contest are the supervisor, Mr. Peter Stuckey of Switzerland, the steward in charge, Mr. Jerry Woolard from Glasgow. The judges for this contest are Monsieur Louis Michel from France, Senor Lazaro Casaco from Spain, and Mr. Bob Logist of Belgium. The referee in charge of the action this evening is Mr. Tony Perez of Puerto Rico and New York. The timekeeper, Mr. Jim Russell of Glasgow, and the matchmaker, Mr. Frank Turner of London. This is a contest of 12 3-minute rounds to decide the WBC Super Middleweight Championship of the World. Between, in the red corner, wearing the red trunks from Rome, with a record of 22 wins, 4 by KO, 2 losses and 2 draws, the challenger and former WBC Super Middleweight Champion of the World, Mauro Galvano. And in the blue corner, wearing the black trunks with a record of 35 wins, 31 by KO, and just 2 defeats from Ilford in London, the WBC Super Middleweight Champion of the World, the Dark Destroyer, Nigel Benn. At the weigh-in at 6 o'clock yesterday, Galvano scaled 11 stone, 13 pounds, 5 ounces, Benn 11 stone, 13 pounds, 12 ounces. Ladies and gentlemen, the WBC Super Middleweight Championship of the World.
So pull up your ringside seat with us then here, and please advise you not to blink really with this fight, because Ben has a great deal of smouldering resentment there, and I must say Galvano has been very calm about it all, as Jim Rosenthal was saying, but maybe he'll find out that, well, he's nothing to be too whimsical about. But also, it wasn't really Galvano's problem there. The seconds did it last time in Rome. Here's Tony Perez, and this is his 79th World Championship fight. A famous New York man did the second Ali Frazier fight. Matter of fact, he has a points victory over Ali. He sued him and won out of court over the remarks that the great man had made. So let's see how do they go eyeball here? No, I think Galvano's going to look the other way. Whole new corner crew, as he said. It may make a difference to him, but when, you know, they'll get out the ring when the bell goes and he's in there, and that's what it's all about. The loneliest place in the world. So scheduled for 12, but the odds against it going that far, I would think. I think they've forgotten the gum shield there. That was what that delay was in Galvano's corner. At least they were still washing it, and it's obligatory to wear that. It's the only protection allowed above the waist, although I think that beard might have helped him a little bit. Now, is Ben going to make that rush start that he made on that Rome suburb Marino last year? He knows a few tricks to him. You remember Galvano was saying he's a bit smart.
Well, obviously Galvano must mess Ben about, especially in the first couple of rounds when Ben is so dangerous, and I'm sure it'll be untidy. If Galvano gets the slightest chance, he'll make it untidy, especially in the first 2 or 3 rounds.
Calls himself Rocky, as you can see, he's even had it embossed on the shorts there. Very quickly, Tony Perez. He won't stand for too much messing around. He's been around the best fighters. Never worked in Scotland before.
Ben not started quite as sharply as he did in the previous meeting, but he probably feels there's no need for the sharpness. He's not boxing in Italy this time, so the odds not stacked quite so steeply against him, but he's going to have to sharpen up. Galvano's making the first move and he's messing him about here in the first round.
Midway through the opening round then. And remember that Galvano has never been down. That's not bad really, is it, in 26 fights and having won a world championship. It was a vacant championship vacated by the great Sugar Ray Leonard at the time. Trainer Jimmy Tibbs, though, has just installed a little bit of patience, by Ben's standards anyway. You know, he's still got that fire in his belly, a sort of a ghetto blaster in his own way, isn't he? But in the fight with Nicky Piper, Jim, you remember he stalked for quite a while. I'm not trying to make a comparison between the Italian and Nicky Piper, but you know, a little bit of experience started to show with Ben in that fight.
I would say in this one, Reg, Ben wants a few rounds in the bag, because Galvano's not a puncher. Usually feel that non-punchers are always fitness fanatics. They can go all night long. So he's obviously going to make his drive late in the fight. So Ben wants some rounds in the bag, and it's not been a very sharp start from Nigel tonight. Taking a little bit too long to get his punches off in the first round here.
Don't talk about weight problems. He came in a few ounces overweight, a little bit of a mistake, shouldn't have happened, had to strip off to do it, but he took it very well. He was laughing about it, which was a good sign, because usually a bit tense before the fights. So into the first round then.
Now Galvano's tactics are pretty obvious. He misses with a punch, he's just grabbing hold of Ben, keep it untied.
Yeah, he's showing a little signs of frustration there already, Ben, saying this guy doesn't want to open up. Well, we've got Harry Gibbs, the famous referee, retired now, still a judge with the WBC, working with us tonight, giving you unofficial verdicts. He made a 10-9 score there for Ben. Single point, 10 miles. Oh, well, Jimmy Tibbs is showing him what he wants now. If he can get out there and fight like Jimmy, he'll be okay. And there it is. That's the unofficial. We emphasise that, just for your guidance. Very subjective business, boxing scoring, actually. But Harry's one of the longest serving in the game, the sort of doyen. Trained in Tenerife for this fight, Nigel Benn, and came up to Scotland early. Enjoyed boxing up here as training. Out of West Ham and lives in Beckenham.
Round 2.
Second round then. Royal Boxing Council 12 stone. Oh dear! Right on the deck. Boy, you won't like that. That'll call. Now that was what Ben actually did to Aram Barkley, Jim, if you remember, in Las Vegas. So in this game, that's called payback by another opponent.
That one was a little bit cold-blooded. I was quite surprised actually in the previous fight that Galvano, although not a big puncher, he was very rugged, and he knew all the dirty tricks. So that's the first one we've seen tonight. But he's a strong boxer. He's not a big puncher, but he is fairly strong and fairly rugged.
He's only actually stopped or knocked out 4 of 22 wins. This is going to be interesting, Jim.
Ben hasn't shown the same sharpness, Reg, in the first round. He has to get his punches off quicker. Galvano's getting too close and it's becoming messy.
I don't know whether to believe Galvano or not, Jim, but he seemed very satisfied, didn't he, of boxing away from home. He was very comfortable, surprising. Only boxed outside of Italy once before, and that was down the road in Monte Carlo.
Galvano's definitely using spoiling tactics, but you have to expect that. Ben is most dangerous in the first couple of rounds. Galvano's plan must be to take some of the sting out of him, out of his work.
I think referee Perez may have to be a little bit tougher with this one. He doesn't understand good English either, Galvano, so it's all ring language. To go in the second. Nigel Benn not getting off to the flying start that he did in the first fight, and it's a voluntary defence by Ben, by the way. It wasn't ordered, although it was an obvious rematch. A little bit of sense at last came into boxing with all the fragmented titles.
A couple of good punches from Ben there, but he has to get them off a little bit sharper. He can't allow Galvano to come forward.
The crowd have started giving Galvano a little bit of the bird, Jim, aren't they?
Yeah, well, as soon as he gets up close, he's spoiling, grabbing hold of Ben. But this is what he set out to do. Ben just lacks the sharpness he had.
Remember, of course, that Ben's done a bit of good amateur boxing. He was an ABA champion, so he knows all about the skills. to hit some sensible punches. And from the corner, it looked as though trainer Tibbs was saying use the right-hand uppercut. And, well, he's not too pleased now about that little breach of etiquette of the furious rounds. I can understand that. And it's just as well that the full force of the punch had gone, because Ben was sort of almost on the canvas anyway. But it was a definite foul.
Galvano really making it into a messy fight, Reg. As soon as he gets close, he's grabbing hold of Ben. See, there he goes again, arm round Ben's neck.
Yeah, we don't want 2 falls and a submission. We want some clean boxing in a World Championship fight.
Ben's going to have to back him up, Reg, and get his punches off a little bit quicker. As soon as he allows Galvano to come forward, he's using the spoiling tactics. He's got to move in with the punches, get the punches off a little bit quicker.
As I said to him, he hasn't been on the deck before, Galvano, so he's got a pretty good chin, although it takes a good chin to take a Ben punch when he lands clean on the button.
I don't think Nigel has shown the same raw power at super middle that he did at middleweight. So these big fellas, I mean, a lot of these fellas are light heavyweights who have come down, so they can take a good shot. So Ben just let the punches move a bit more smoothly and get them out sharper.
In fact, Galvano was the Italian light heavyweight amateur champion, so obviously he was up there at one time at that weight, and now under 12 stone now, just a few ounces.
See, Ben has an excellent jab, but he hasn't tried to use the jab so far. And that might be the punch just to catch Galvano as he moves forward.
Matter of fact, he was amateur and pro champion, Galvano, at the light heavy division. So a minute to go in the third. See, we even suspected the first time up, Jim, that if Ben hadn't rushed in and swarmed all over him at the start, that Galvano was going to give him some trouble, didn't you? You spotted that early by saying, you know, he knew a few tricks.
Yeah, well, Galvano was boxing himself into the fight last time. It certainly looked as though Ben was well in control. He was going to win the fight. But Galvano was getting himself into the fight, finding his range. I mean, he has a problem. The guy knows the ropes. He's not a big puncher, as we've said already, but he's always in good condition. He can always do the rounds. And this is exactly the way he wants the fight to go in the first couple of rounds. Get rid of some of Ben's power, then maybe start picking up the points.
Now he's got to cut the ring size down. It is a fairly small ring, just 16 feet. And the WBC supervisor, Peter Stuckey from Switzerland, he wasn't too pleased about that. He said it's only just make the minimum size. But that was probably, hopefully, put up to suit Ben to catch this Italian a little bit easy. But he hasn't done so yet. This is the new cornerman here. A couple of brothers there. Piatti. One's a cuts man, the other's a trainer.
Prova a doppiare i destri. Perché lui si piega, destro, sposta il destro, Se tu sposti sulla destra e pieghi la destra e rientri
There they are, all the seconds are talking a good fight anyway.
Come rientri? Ok, Mauro.
Franco and Mauro, the two brothers, and that's Harry Gibbs' unofficial card again. As you can see, he's still got Ben 2 rounds up.
Devo imbriagare Mauro,
Seconds out.
Fourth round.
4.
So Ben the Blaster's just getting a bit, and his punches nullified a little bit by this fellow's, well, let's say awkwardness if you like, or smartness really, because he knows how to get on his bike, and at the moment he's on a tandem, the speed he's going.
Well, at least Ben started to back him up a little bit. That's what he must do, give himself some punching room.
Ben loves the smell of danger though, Jim, and that sort of living on the edge in the ring's his style.
You can see the rope burns on Galvano's back already. I think we'll see a few more before this is out. But Ben, just a little bit loose with his defence. He wants to tighten up as he comes forward. This fellow is pretty smart. He knows all the tricks.
You can't blame Galvano for using these tactics, Jim. You know, getting on his bike, moving away all the time. Ben likes the targets to stand still anyway.
Yeah, well, Galvano knows he can't trade with Ben, he can't match him for power, so he's using all the old tricks that he's learned. But Ben really struggling to find the range here.
Trying to cut the ring size down there.
Ben still seems intent on doing it with one punch. He seems to be winding up that one big shot all the time. He has to let the punches flow a little bit more. Start working behind a jab.
Break, stop.
Well, I think Galvano must be pretty pleased the way things are going, Reg. He's not winning anything, but he's getting the early rounds behind him, messing Ben about and taking some of the steam out. But here we've got untidy stuff yet again.
Yeah, the old headlock there, we could do without that.
At least Ben's exerting a bit of pressure now, making Galvano work under pressure. That'll take some of the steam out of Galvano too. And hopefully Ben can slow him down a little bit, but Galvano breathing a little bit heavily now.
Fifth round. No knockdown there, pretty obvious. He's made that very clear, Tony Perez. And certainly Ben liked the idea of standing over him there. That's the side he's looking to see, but he fell over there as though somebody had ripped the carpet from under his feet there, Galvano. And Harry Gibbs' card, there's only 1 point in it now, with Ben ahead.
At least Ben exerting a bit of pressure now, Reg, and that's what he has to do.
Just a glove undone there, and Lace needs coming. The crowd always boo that, as if the boxer's deliberately done it to get away from trouble. Of course he hasn't. This fella's pretty confident one way or another, Jim, isn't he, Galvano? I mean, he's in his own way. It might be a spalling fight, but from his point of view, it's a smart one.
Yeah, that's the way he does business, and it's a sensible way to do it. He can't trade with Ben, and as I say, he must look for his success in the second half of the fight. But at least Ben, putting him under pressure, now making him work. You can't afford to let Galvano work at his own pace.
Well, those rabbit blows behind the head there. He's been a bit lenient for them, Tony Perez, don't you think?
I think maybe he's allowing for a little bit of frustration that's coming into Ben's work. This fella really is awkward, difficult to catch with clean shots. But Nigel still not getting the punches off just sharply enough. He's just allowing Galvano to get too close, mess him about. Galvano rubbing a little bit with the forehead there, looking for a little eye injury, I think. Some of the tricks are beginning to show themselves now.
Well, there's a little bit of bumping and boring going on. There's bound to be a bruise or two showing any minute. He's got a bit lively this round, hasn't he, Galvano?
Well, I think the longer it goes, the more dangerous this fella will become. I mean, he's always been known to be in the best of condition. He's been allowed to work at his own pace too often. Ben has to put him under more pressure and get his own punches off quicker. It's just that little shade slow, just that little shade late getting the punches off.
It did go the distance. Judges from Spain, France and Belgium. And the referee doesn't vote. I wonder if we can see the Rangers player there with Gary Dupont. Mark Haitley, who speaks a bit of Italian, might help us out. So a bit of problem there with the microphone, but we'll come back to him, I'm sure, later, and we'll tell the boxers to carry on until we're ready. Let's have another look at that in the first replay now, Jim.
A little bit more confidence coming into Galvano's work. That was right at the start of the round, just obviously a stumble. He just slipped over, no punch whatsoever. But Galvano becoming a little bit more confident, which will be a bigger problem for Ben.
So we're coming out for round 6 of the schedule 12. Super middleweight, 12 stone, World Boxing Council version of the championship. And this is, you know, Ben's always looking the more commandeering, of course, and a solid puncher. He must be on his record, 31 stoppages or knockouts with 35 wins, as against Galvano's 4 and 22 wins.
So this is better from Ben now. That's the first time he's really allowed the punches to flow. He has to punch as he moves in. If he moves in, Galvano claims him. He has to punch as he moves in.
Always waiting for that moment, Jim. That's that point when he gets it right on the button there with a punch. Ben, and this fella hasn't been down before, but he might find it tonight. But it's getting a bit tight in the way, this fight, isn't it? I got Ben ahead.
Yeah, Ben's ahead. At least he's trying to throw punches. Galvano, too much spoiling going on, grabbing, holding, punching around at the back of the head, not scoring points. But he's gaining in confidence. The fight's going the way he wants it to go.
Harry Gibbs has got it total at the moment, 49-47 in Ben's favour. Wouldn't argue with that. Occasionally I might argue with the old lad, but not on this occasion.
The referee's trying to tidy this fight up, but it's almost impossible. Galvano, these are the tactics he had in mind, and he's put them to good use.
Those photographers there moving in unison there as though they were at Wimbledon as they go around the ring there, left and right, trying to get that popping of the flash bulbs when the punch lands.
As soon as Galvano misses with a punch, he grabs hold of Ben for dear life. See, there he goes again. One punch, then grabs hold. Just a sheer survival job here.
Well, at least they're listening to Perez anyway. I mean, you know, that's not normally. Ben keeps throwing punches until he's pulled away.
I think referee Perez should be a bit more strict with Galvano for the grabbing hold tactics. He's holding Ben every time they come close. See, there he goes again,
yeah.
Look.
Oh, yeah, he's like the old sailor grabbing the mainmast in a storm there, isn't he?
See, he's not prepared to trade punches at all, Galvano. As soon as Ben gets close, he's grabbing hold. That's why Ben must throw punches as he moves in.
So we'll see if we can get the mic working this time with Mark Haitley and maybe a little bit of Italian.
Well, Mark, you speak Italian, of course, because you played for AC Milan. What are the corners saying to Galvano?
Trying to use his left more, and hopefully it'll set him up for the right, but it's also trying to tell him to double up, get the left going and come up with the right. And basically that's what they've been telling him to do the whole fight.
Are they telling him to spoil, or is that a pre-tactic, do you think?
They've not told him to do anything like that. I think that's just him, you know, hanging on.
Okay, well, here's your goalkeeper, Andy Gorham. What do you think of the fight so far?
I'm enjoying it. It's good to see someone like Ben coming to Scotland. I love his attitude. He's got a great attitude to the fight. It's just a shame that the boy persists on holding him all the time.
Do you think, though, that this fight's going to improve? I mean, it's a bit of a wrestling match at the moment from a spectacle point of view.
It's a shame that way. I think if it was a boxing match, Galvano would need snookers by now because Ben's totally outclassed him that way. Like I said, if Ben gets over in the distance, it'd be good.
Coming out for 7. Taking off a point now. They've made that very obvious, Perez. That's the best way to do it with the referee. We all know where we're at with that now. We were saying he'd been a bit tolerant, Jim, and let his presence be down there a bit.
Yeah, but the strange thing, he didn't take the point off for the offence that Galvano's been committing all the way through. I mean, that was for punching on the break, and it's really the first time I've seen him do that. So I'd like to see Ben use the jab a little bit more. He has an excellent jab, and it would set everything else up, but he's trying to catch Galvano with the one big shot all the time. Galvano is a good defensive fighter. He's very awkward, very untidy, but he's a good defensive fighter.
You know that old saying in boxing, Jimmy, may not be the best around, but he could make it awkward for the first, for the real champions.
Well, he's making good use of his own left jab and then Galvano. Ben just a little bit too reckless now. He's taking more chances than he needs to take. And he's catching Galvano's jab as he comes forward. See, it's all just that single one big punch Ben's looking for all the time. He's not setting up an attack, not using the jab. Ben was trying to draw Galvano forward then. I don't think that's a good idea. Ben wants to keep him backed up. Just try to leave a little space, give himself room to punch.
Yeah, a little bit of daylight between them there. It's inside the last minute of the 7th. Doesn't have a great deal of power, as we said from the start, Mauro Galvano, but he's a difficult man to beat, Jim, because he absorbs a fair punch, knows his way around a bit. And I know that Italian boxing riders have carpeted him a few times.
Well, Ben certainly got through a couple there, Reg, but again, Galvano hanging on for dear life. See, he's not a big puncher, but he is a strong fighter, Galvano. Inside, he's holding his own with Ben. He's not been bullied or pushed around. Strong enough, not a big puncher, though.
Yeah, that's a bit of a handicap in this game. You don't really punch away. I mean, he knows every stroke in the book, this fella. Those sort of tactics tire a fellow like Ben. He's just leaning on like that.
But there's certainly a bit of sharpness missing from Ben tonight, Reg.
Got a bit of bandage loose there in the corner there. We'll have to tie that up before he comes out again, and the ice back on the back to keep him performing and moving around. Let's have a look at this hitting on the break here, Jim. Oh, that's ridiculous. I mean, it wasn't a hard punch, but, you know, it's a foul. Let's have a look at another angle.
Yeah, probably a little bit severe from the referee. I think for the holding he's been doing all the way through, he's been entitled to lose a point. But this is where he lost his way for the first time in the fight, Galvano, but Ben just couldn't get enough punching space to get a real good shot home. This fella really is a good survivor.
So he's been in 6 12-rounders, actually, Mauro Galvano. And Ben has only gone to the 11th, so round 8.
See, the referee has to be a little bit more strict, Red. This is ridiculous. He really has been letting Galvano away with murders here. Clinging on again.
Trying to work to the body again now, Ben, trying to get those hands to drop down. I mean, it's so blatant now, it's ridiculous.
Referee not strict enough for rear edge. Galvano, it's really, every time they come close, he's grabbing for dear life.
You may as well take another point away from him because he's already done so, which has made him behind on, well, I would think, on the judges' scorecard. You never can tell with these fellas. (69-65), Harry Gibbs' unofficial score there in Benn's favour. That includes, of course, the extra point deducted.
You can't really be too critical of Ben. It's difficult. I mean, it's impossible to look good against this fellow. Look what's happening here. As soon as they come close, he's just grabbing hold, hanging on for dear life. At least Ben keeps throwing punches. He keeps winning the rounds because Galvano's doing nothing to win any rounds.
Yeah, he's doing as much hugging as hitting, isn't he, Galvano? The crowd not liking it either, don't blame them. Up to £100 ringside here, from £15 up.
Ben just becoming a little bit reckless again. We've seen him do that in some of his other harder fights. In the last few rounds, he shuns defence and takes too many chances. I think frustration's caused him to do that again here. The referee's having a word with both of them, and I don't know why. It's all Galvano committing the fouls.
Yeah, he went over to Ben's corner at that last interval and had a word there. You couldn't quite tell what he was doing. He's the referee, I don't know why. He wasn't injured in any way. Only he cried a little bit now, it's about all, but he's winning the fight. Boxer's a bit open-mouthed, Galvano, if you notice that. I don't know whether, I mean, he's a fit fellow though. He needs to be the way he has to move around, and then he pinches all the rest by hanging on.
Well, as I said earlier, that the non-punchers usually find Regs they get themselves in the best of condition because they're expecting to go the distance every time they get into the ring. So he'll be in good shape, all right. His mouth is dropping open, but I'm sure he's in good shape.
Round. So no knockdowns. It was joined display between Nigel Benn, defending champion WBC 12 stone, and Mauro Galvano. Actually, I think he's the first Roman to have won the World Championship. So he's trying to get it back, but it looks a bit of a lost cause because he just doesn't carry the power.
A couple of good right hands from Ben at the beginning of this round, Reg. Maybe finally he's going to find his range and just get them out that little bit quicker. Good left hook now. So yet again, as soon as they get close, Galvano grabs hold.
Oh, there it is. Look, you know, it clings to him like a black barnacle. It's a pity really, Jim, because he's quite capable boxer, Galvano. He need not hang on if he wants to try and regain the championship, like he is now.
Yeah, I think that it's just ingrained in his style, Reg, this kind of safety first aspect. He's been boxing at home, and this has been good enough to win all these fights at home.
Just hold it, stop, is all Perez is saying. He's been very casual about it all. But he is one of the world's most experienced referees from New York, Puerto Rican born.
So this is a tiring fight for Ben as well. The way Galvano's pulled him around, wrestled him so much inside. Obvious tactics, good left hook from Ben, followed by a nice little right hand.
Yeah.
This is where he wants to just step back a few inches, give himself some room to get the punches off, but not. Galvano grabs hold again.
Minute to go in this round. As you say, he's just wearing Ben down with sheer frustration and weight and shoves and hanging on. It's a hard man to beat.
See, Galvano wants a negative type of fight. He doesn't want clean punching you from a distance because that's where he's going to come off second best. But Ben looked a little bit more dangerous in this round. Just a couple of times he's managed to catch him cleanly.
A very repetitive round, that's the trouble now. Just looking for one little spark to happen now. Well, that's, yeah, I don't think there's any purpose in doing in there. It's not his fault. And I did emphasise at the start, it wasn't his fault really about the cut eye in the first fight. It was the corner that was, you know, really going to try and pull the old stroke there and win it at the end of the third round on a technical. So they'll put that time on anyway, by the way, that comes off. Right on the belt, the best part of the fight, right on the belt. A little bit of needle. Let's go over to Nigel Benn's dad, Dixon.
Mr. Benn, this referee is not helping your son's cause, is he?
No, he's not. All he's doing is hanging on, holding, pushing him, hanging. The referee's a bit too soft. The referee's got no control over the fight at the moment.
While he was stopping at that to mend the glove tape there, you were signalling to Nigel. What were you doing there?
Uppercut. Use the uppercut. He's not using the uppercut now. I want to see him use that uppercut a bit more. Get on there.
Yeah. How do you think Nigel's doing against his spoiler?
He's doing pretty good. I mean, he's won every round so far. That Galvano hasn't won a round.
Well, Harry Gibbs thinks he's won one or two, but Nigel's certainly winning it easily. Now, what about this action here?
Now, this is good. This is good. The last bit of action there, just before the bell, that's what I like to see. Getting over the top with the right, and he was just going to put the pressure on, but of course the bell saved him.
Well, straight from Dad there, very enthusiastic, and it's a little bit exaggerated by every round, perhaps. In fact, Harry Gibbs made Galvano win that last round. No, I'm sorry. I was leaning over watching his scorecard there. 10-9 to Ben. Wondering about that, or that's an argument.
Ben beginning a little bit more dangerous now, Reg.
Yeah,
a little more dangerous. But once again, the tape has come loose.
Yeah, that's it.
I think it's time they did the job properly, but 4 chances are.
Yeah, that's incompetent. Now, what happened there, I was actually trying to sneak the Spanish referee scoring, Glasgow, and he actually did give that previous round to Galvano. So, oh dear. Please be prepared for one of those up and down the verdicts, Jim, but I hope not.
I'd be surprised, Reg, because Galvano, his work has been too negative all the way through. He's let some punches go, but he's holding Ben with one hand and punching with the other. I think the referee could have been a little bit more strict with Galvano. But see, there's that. Nigel becomes just a little bit too reckless at times, sails straight in, walking onto Galvano's jab.
So a minute gone in the 10th round then. Oh yes, he started to plant those in a bit hard now then. He's saying, come on, fight on. He's trying to lure this fellow into a fight. It's a good round, this one now for Ben.
So when Ben lets the punches flow, doesn't allow Galvano to grab hold, then he really looks in a different class from Galvano. But as soon as they get close, Galvano grabs hold again. Ben has to get the punches off, Reg, before they get up close. As soon as they're up close, it becomes a mess.
Yeah, it's difficult to beat a continual grabber like this. Still has ability, Galvano. He doesn't use it to the best of his style, but sometimes not effective enough. There goes Ben again then. He uses the ropes fairly well, actually, Galvano. He doesn't mind, you see. Not exactly as a catapult by any means, but he's not being pounded too hard. He's tucking his arms in there, getting caught on the elbows a lot.
See, he's turned Ben nicely, he left Ben off balance, so even if Ben throws a punch now, there'll be no power behind it. Galvano knows all the tricks, Reg. A real good old pro, not my favourite certainly, but a real good old pro.
Another waving bit of bandage there. I hope that won't be stopped again. Just takes the momentum out of the Ben stuff. Yeah, he's going over there to have this done. It really is boring. You know what you're saying? He's tucked it in, he tried to anyway, Perez. It's not dangerous, it's just very distracting to the opposition. Take their hands up, according to rules, and sometimes a solid fist like that can look like the old Roman cestus style to it.
See, instead of cutting tape off, Reg, they should put new tape on top of that and just cover it up, but they keep cutting it every time it goes over to the corner and it's just happening again. But Ben's certainly looking a little bit more dangerous the last couple of rounds. Still messy, Galvano making sure of that.
Peter De Freitas is the personal manager there working with Jimmy Tibbs. And you're wondering now what sort of thing they will be saying to him there now, Jim. You're in front, don't do anything silly, but let's try and win it in style in the last couple of rounds. Let's have a look at the replay.
Well, this is where Ben has already
the
signed. Yeah, well, that was the best punch of the fight there. A lovely right uppercut from Ben. And at least Galvano come back with some punches of his own here. A good exchange then.
Yeah, and again, you see, backing himself on the ropes. He was actually taunting Ben to start with, but Ben returned that.
See, when Ben just stands off slightly, gives himself some room to punch.
And there's the update scorecard, emphasised unofficial, of course, by Harry Gibbs, retired referee, with Ben 4 points up. And Tony Perez went to both boxers' corners there at the end of that. I imagine he's asking to let's tidy it up and stop the grabbing, but as Kim White and I have been saying, there's only one culprit there.
Galvano complaining to the referee.
Yeah,
after what he's been getting away with all the way through, is to cheekily complain. See, there he goes, leans down on Ben's shoulders, makes sure he can't throw a worthwhile punch.
It's what the old pros, Jim, would call a nuisance opponent, isn't it? It makes it so difficult to look good against him.
Well, this is what he's come in to do tonight, Reg. I mean, he's made his mind up. He knows he can't trade with Ben, so he wants untidy. In Italy, he can get away with this and steal a points victory at the end of the 12 rounds. I can't imagine him doing that here in Glasgow.
Trying to affect Ben's stamina by going possibly now 12 rounds for the very first time in 37 fights. He scored 46 knockdowns, by the way, Ben. I mean, that's quite a record, isn't it? But he can't nail this guy. Well, fight looks like going the distance, Jim. We're overrunning a little bit, but the snooker will be following.
There's actually been a little bit of space between them for most of this round, Reg, which you would have thought maybe Ben could have exploited a little bit more. Not quite so much holding and grabbing in this round. Galvano having more of a go, so maybe that'll give Ben a chance to get through with some clean shots.
Tell you what, the bookmakers were advertising 4-1 Ben to win on points. Not a bad bet by the look of it now, Jim. Anybody took that, we all thought that he possibly could stop this fella, but I did keep emphasising he's never been on the deck, which I've never stopped. He's only lost 2 bouts anyway. Beat Mark Kaler once, a Londoner for the European Championship back in 90.
A good right hand from Ben, good clean shot, but again Galvano takes it well.
Yeah, well, he's always going away from it, Jim, too, isn't he?
But that's what Ben needs. He needs that little bit of space between them, give him some room to punch, even if they're not knockout blows. Good clean punches just to make sure of a points victory. It looks now as though it's going to go the distance. Ben, a little bit too reckless for my liking sometimes.
Coming up to the end of the 11th now. Ambles back to the corner there, the Italian, and Ben there, well, I imagine by now the frustration's gone. He knows what this fella's capable of, or not capable of in some respects, really. So will he come out blasting for the last round? First time he's been in the 12 rounds. Let's have a look at this. The right hand of Ben's coming up.
A couple of nice clean shots from Ben. See, there's a fair bit of space between the boxers in that round for the first time, but as soon as the punch lands, Galvano right onto the defensive mode straight away.
Referee just going over, reminding them this is the last round. Hopefully he's saying, remember, this is a championship of the world. Let's see some action and keep it clean and stop holding, to both fighters, actually. So I don't think the Italian corner, the new ones in this case for Galvano, have any complaints about this referee. He's been as lenient as he could. You know, Jim, I don't know whether I'm reading it wrong, but the Spanish judge, I think, has had Galvano winning the last 3 rounds. I mean, oh dear, could it be an upset? I don't think so.
No, he's still a little bit too negative for my liking. It's breaking too many rules. Holding, grabbing, pulling, leaning on top of Ben's shoulders. See, there he goes again, grabs the head and leans over. I mean, how can you score at points to a fighter who's doing this repeatedly every single round? You see, Ben's never managed to get through cleanly with good solid shots. It's always been a little bit messy, but you still have to give it to him, the fact that he's thrown all the punches, all the worthwhile punches have come from Ben. In my book, he's certainly in front.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think I might be ducking under the ring if it goes the other way, Jim. I don't think the Scots are going to like that, but no, I don't think that's possible. But I will be interested to see the Spanish judges scoring. Lázaro Brasco. So 2 minutes to go. Ben almost ignoring Galvano's punches now. He's not exactly offering his chin on a platter, but because he probably knows he can't nail him anyway.
Well, certainly not an easy man to look good against, Mr. Galvano. But Ben certainly did the right thing, trying to keep him on his back foot, pushing him back all the way through. He just got a little bit too close, didn't give himself punching room, so it's become a little bit messy for most of the time. But in my book, Ben's certainly winning clearly enough.
European judges, remember, are coming up with this verdict, and it won't happen right away because the supervisor from Switzerland has got to just check that all the cards total properly. A minute to go. Has he got time to really pull off the big finish? That would be something.
I think a little cut is up here.
Right underneath Galvano's left eye there.
Yeah, it's just a little nick, Reg, nothing serious. Too late to be a problem anyway.
Yeah. Well, he can't pinch a technical draw with that, that's for sure. Well, this is Ben's best round now. I mean, if there was any doubt, and you and I don't think so, neither does Harry Gibbs, then this has sealed it okay.
So as soon as Ben gives himself some punching room, he looks different league to Galvano.
There it is now, the countdown. Too late for a knockout, the bell would stop it anyway. Oh, he's now Ben in the dying seconds in the corner, and it's all over. And look, he thinks he's won it, Galvano, and it really was hurt there, Ben, right at the finish. Just look at these seconds, Jim. The Italians think they've won it.
Well, Reg, in the last few rounds, I did say Ben was a little bit too reckless for my liking. Ben has been hurt. One of the things that makes him exciting, he can't be hurt by punches. He was certainly hurt by that punch, but it was far too late to have any bearing on the fight.
I think
it's some Italian play acting yet again, Reg.
Well, now they've hoisted Ben as well, so it's ring of roses now. Which one's got it? Oh, there's a friendly touch in a bit of a bloody finish. He likes that old blood, sweat and no fears, doesn't he, Nigel Benn? Well, been a lot of rude words early on, especially from Ben. Oh, there, even the obligatory kiss on the cheek now as well. That's the fight game all over. A couple of old gladiators. He's so pleased to have not only lasted the distance, Jim Galvano, he actually thinks he's pinched the verdict. But there you are. Are we wrong? Harry Gibbs makes it 118, 112, unofficial to Ben. So I hope that the sweaty palms now of the Ben supporters and Dad, there it is, there's a rundown of Harry's card. I think he's got it all right though, Jim. I'd be very, very surprised. And I must say, I must have been watching another fight if the Spanish judges had scored it for Galvano.
Yeah, a lot of messy rounds, Reg, which maybe you could have swayed one way or the other, but certainly not enough to give Galvano a point.
No, I think Carrasco's got it about 118, 114 to Benn. But it's 3 judges, not one that counts, obviously. Always this long delay at the end, isn't it, now? And I suppose he's got some satisfaction of going the full course for the first time, Jim, in his 38th fight. Nigel Benn, remember the start of his career, 16 consecutive stoppages or knockouts, what he used to call the Mexican road sweepers. He's trying to milk a bit of applause here, Galvano, but I'm afraid he's not getting any for it. The old jockeys know when a good fight when they see one. Sporting touch by Benn there, considering the animosity after the last fight. Here it
We
is.
have a unanimous decision. Monsieur Michel scores 117, 113.
117, 113.
Pelogis scores 118, 112.
Well, that's a big one, 118, 112.
Judge Carrasco scores 118, 114.
Oh yeah, this will be still world champion.
The undefeated super middleweight champion of the world, Nigel Benn.
Well, enormous margins, Barry.
Yes, I don't think he won it by that much, but I think that he won it on the last couple of rounds, just in aggression in the last few rounds. He maybe won it by 1 or 2 rounds, but nothing more than that.
117, 113, 118, 112 from the Belgian judge, which I thought was, well, generous. And 118, 114. I made it 116, 115, but it was very, very close. Let it never be said, though, that Galvano's challenge lacked heart and passion and effort. But the good news for British boxing is that Nigel Benn is still the WBC super middleweight champion of the world. So, the first of many, many world title fights that we will bring you on ProBox, on the European Sports Network and Eurosport. We've got 3 great years of boxing, and I hope you're going to be with us every single inch of the way. Now, we're going to be back with you on Tuesday. We'll see you then. But for now, though, from Barry McGuigan and me, David Brenner, in Glasgow, bye-bye.